And welcome to the loading screen. This is episode 40. My name is Kadex Gaming. Joining us, as always, Angry Iceberg. And today, our special guest, Ignite Plays. Welcome, Ignite, to the podcast.
Hello, thanks so much for having me here.
First off, let's go ahead and have the viewer. Hold up. Got a bunch of reverb. Sorry about that. First off, tell the stream exactly what you do, where you stream, and what do you stream.
Sure, for sure, yeah. So my name is Ignite, aka John. I stream a lot of Destiny, especially when it comes to PvP, Trials help, playing with viewers, as well as like a little bit of raid help more recently. But you can find me over at twitch.tv/ignite_plays. So.
Awesome. All right. So tonight's going to be a little bit Destiny heavy. There's a lot of topics to discuss, including soft caps, the raid, and whatnot. But first, I do want to tackle an important Twitch topic in general. Now, we all know that the presidential debates are going on right now. So how do you guys deal with politics in chat? In my personal experience, I find it a little bit toxic sometimes, especially when they really get into politics. But how do you guys encounter that? We'll go ahead and start off with Angry Iceberg.
Well, I basically just don't allow it. I mean, just simple. I mean, because here's the thing is that, and it's just like the same with religion and even sports to some degree, is that there's going to be people that are super passionate about it. And then there's also going to be people that just don't want to hear it. And so, and then there's people that follow me tweet. But the point is that, you know, you don't want to alienate your viewer base off of, you know, your own personal beliefs. I mean, I don't think that Twitch is really the right place for it. I mean, there are places on Twitch for it, but I mean, for the average streamer, I think that you do yourself a favor by, you know, just leaving it out of your stream. Just when the topics come up, just say, look, this is not the place for that. I think that a lot of people, they go to Twitch to escape a lot of that stuff, and you know, so I think it's just a good policy just to leave it on the outside, you know, just not talk about it. I mean, if you want to run your stream that way, that's fine, but, you know, realize that you could alienate a certain portion of your viewer base. You could end up losing viewers. Chances are you're probably more likely to lose viewers than you are to gain them. So it's just one of those things that I really do not let, you know, people get real in depth with. If I start to hear or see somebody talking about it, you know, I shut it down right away. So yeah, that's basically how I handle it.
Okay, Egg, how you feel about
it? For me, I have the benefit of trying to, or not even trying to, of just kind of not necessarily being the most informed person. So normally, if when it comes to the political spectrum and all those different perspectives, especially what's going on right now, I tend to just admit that I don't know fully what's going on. But I know that at the same time, Twitch is going to be a place where people will want to have certain kinds of conversations or share perspectives. My biggest focus, as well as for like the focus that I try to encourage in people that have like levels of responsibility in my own chat, would be to make sure that at the end of the day, level of respect is always maintained in the chat. And if things get too far, that's not tolerable. If someone feels like they're being attacked for having a certain perspective, that's never okay. Of course, I don't think it's ever right to think that everyone can have all the same perspectives, and I also think it's pretty hard to expect people to kind of like fit in a certain filter. But I always try to make sure that my stream and how I carry myself in my stream reflects kind of what I believe, or like how I decide to live life and the value that I think that shows. And I never try to impose outwardly how that is on somebody, but at the same time, I do think that does help give a little bit of a like realism to the person, you know. So. Again, I never, like, when it comes to a big conversation piece coming up, I'll never really focus on that. But when it comes to, like, the interactions that I have with my viewers or my community, it's always making sure that there's people that are being made to feel welcome and also whose opinions are respected. So I think at the end of the day, that's one of the most important things you can do, whether it comes in or not.
Right. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I don't think that necessarily Twitch is the place to have those kind of discussions, only because people can be very passionate about those discussions. Same with religion. You know, people can be very passionate about the religion and whatnot, and that's completely fine. I have no problem with religion at all. But whenever you bring up religion in the chat, you have some people that can come along and are very steadfast in their belief and believe that other people who might share a different belief are just incorrect, and it will start to be kind of an attacking or harassment vibe. I don't really like to share it. That's why, religion, politics, anything like that, I say, hey, that's cool and all, but just try to keep it out of chat. If you guys want to talk about that in whispers, that's fine. I'm fine with that. If you guys want to talk about something along those lines, just keep it out of the general chat. I just don't want people coming into the stream and basically people like, oh my gosh, Hillary Trump. I'm like, I don't want that. Just, keep me out of it. But yes, I am actually politically versed. I do pay attention to debates and whatnot, but Twitch just isn't the place. It's not the place. It's not the time. Neither is really Twitter anymore, especially for streamers, because if you start to post your political views on Twitter for a streamer or an entertainer in general, you might lose some following doing so. So I just stay away from it. As far as a professional side, on a personal side, I do pay attention. But let's get into some Destiny now. Now, let me talk English now. The new raid has been out for a little while now, and a lot of people are saying that it's a little too easy at this point. It's somewhat easy to get up to 385, and once you're up there, the raid's pretty easy to blow through, especially if you have a full team of 385s. I've heard of Axion getting one cycled, which was absolutely insane. So do you guys feel that the raid's a little bit easier now that people are up in white level and able to run through it? Let's go ahead and start with Ik.
So I would say that ever since the Omnigul Heart hotfix, the hardest thing was getting to 365. I think after that point, as long as you didn't have the resources like the heavy ammo, the strange coins, the exotics, it is probably almost one of the hardest times to get your light level up because you're pretty dependent on strikes. However, now that Trials is in, and now that Iron Banner's come around, most people are normally at a light level where the raid is at least feasible. So at this point, when it comes to light level, I would say that if you're able to time all that stuff correctly and you figured out the way to do it, light level shouldn't be a problem. When it comes to the raid, I do think that it's very doable pretty easily, but at the same time, we have hard mode coming right around the corner. So I have nothing but high expectations for that. So
okay, Angry Iceberg.
Well, I think it's normal. It's normal mode. I think you're going to find that you find similar situations in most cases for the raids. Early on, the level progression in this DLC was different than previous DLCs, just because it was fairly easy for certain people, not everybody, to gain light level. And honestly, the raid itself is relatively short. And it's not real mechanic heavy, so like if you do get those weapons, you get high light level, you get a team that knows what they're doing, it can go very, very quickly. I think the challenge comes in with people that, are helping people that never tried it before. People are teaching people to gain that communication. And I do think that, hard mode, with the challenge modes that will be coming with it, eventually that's where you're going to see a lot of the real challenge, to the raid. I don't know, man. Like when I first saw the raid, at first I was like, man, this is going to be hard to take new people through. But then once you kind of figure it out, and the main thing is the communication. It's so important to have the good communication in this map or in this raid. Really? And so, but once you kind of learn the little tiny little tricks, little quirks, to get through it, it's not as bad. But, I think with hard mode coming out, that is where, the communication is going to be vital. You're going to have some small little quick response sort of situations, I think, coming up where that's where the challenge comes in again. Is it too easy? Maybe for the right people it is, but I don't think it's too easy for everybody. But again, that's, I can go back to King's Fall. It's super easy to go through normal King's Fall if you have the right team. You can do it in, less than 45 minutes. And the same thing, essentially with Atheon, or even Crota. You look how fast you can go through Crota in less than half an hour with the right team. So, and again, we're working with normal, and we're working with people that have good gear and that have the experience from the previous 3 raids, to get through this stuff. So, but there's still a lot of people that are having a hard time with it just because of the communication that factors in to this raid and just getting used to it. And it's so easy to die, and just one guy dying with the inexperience between teams, one person dying can cause a wipe, whereas with an experienced team, that one death won't necessarily cause a wipe. So yeah, I mean, is it too easy?
Sure.
I mean, for certain people, sure, but not for everybody.
The other thing is that hard mode raids tend to be, or like the hard mode experience for a Bungie game tends to be where the real player experience is intended to be at. So normally we're kind of being used to what's going on in the normal mode, and then heroic mode tends to be kind of where the hammers hit the wall. And I think they've also had 3 chances now to kind of implement what a hard mode would be, and also receive feedback. So we should definitely not be expecting just the traditional bullet sponges and maybe like an extra challenge here or there. I think that this might be really the time for them to show what more they can add in a creative perspective. So
I agree with that. Yeah. I think the hardest thing about the raid right now is actually finding a group to raid sometimes, because you can teach the mechanics fairly simple, like Angry Iceberg said. And I believe you said as well, Ig, it's not mechanically based. It's more light level and just common sense based almost.
Well, I would say I would disagree that I think that the I would say that the last 2, I mean the last 2 encounters are certainly very mechanic based.
Well, as long as you have good mechanics, or good not mechanics but communication skills.
Right.
As long as you can communicate with your team, the mechanic itself isn't that complex. It's just the communication that you have to have with your team that might make it seem complex.
Well, I would say that none of the mechanics were ever complex. I mean, even Oryx was fairly simple. It was a simple concept to fighting Oryx, and honestly, like, this is one of the first raids where you really cannot hide anybody. You need everybody to do their job. At least for the last portion of it. And there are, you could probably argue against that too, but you really do need, all 6 guys, in an inexperienced group, or when you're talking about carrying people through to be able to, be successful. Whereas the other ones, like, I could literally just be like, okay, this guy's never done it before. I'm going to have him do this job, and this job, because, even if he makes a mistake, it's not going to really hurt the team all that much.
Absolutely.
Whereas this one, it's that having to scramble around if something goes wrong and have to make those adjustments. That's why I'm saying, like, people that have experienced teams and good communication, they roll through it. But if you don't have that, if you're, just running with an LFG team or what have you, it's going to make it much more difficult.
Yeah. The hard thing too is, like, we talk about mechanics in a raid, but we have to remember that Destiny is a first-person shooter. There's a lot of limitations on, especially initially when you're trying to test the field. I mean, Destiny's a game that almost never really been done before, and a lot of people will make connections to raids like World of Warcraft, and then how disappointing the idea of a raid is in something like Destiny. I think it's only going to get better. It's really hard to say that, like, mechanics can be really hard when there's only so many tools on your tool belt that Bungie's aware of. But it'll be interesting to see the kinds of things that they might be able to add in the future with Destiny 2 coming out. So
yeah, I'm actually really excited. I like John said, they made hard mode first before they scaled it back to normal. Yeah. So just imagine what they did, because they did the same thing for Kingsfall as well. And there's a drastic difference between normal mode in Kingsfall and hard mode in Kingsfall. You really have to be on your aces when you're going Kingsfall on hard mode. So I'm really looking forward to that. I want to see what challenges that they present. I don't know what challenges they present, but I can't wait to see them. And yeah, that actually leads us into our next topic, and that's the engram soft cap levels right now. Blues are decrypting at 340. Legendaries are decrypting at 365. Do you guys seeing them kick the soft cap at 6 days from now when hard mode launches? Let's go start with Angry Iceberg.
No, I think that, I mean, I think it's fine the way it is, honestly. And this is kind of how it's always been. I mean, you look at Kingsfall, that's how it was run through Kingsfall. I mean, you didn't get your higher level gear unless you played, the higher level activities, Hard Raid or Trials of Osiris or Iron Banner. That's how you got that higher level gear. And even with exotics and stuff like that, you can still get it. So I mean, honestly, I don't think that it's really necessary to, or even really good for the game to have blues or even legendaries decrypt higher than their current state, because then I think it just becomes maybe a little bit too easy. And honestly, there is a significant lack of content in my eyes compared to Kingsfall or to the Taken King DLC. Whereas we're not, at least from on the surface right now, we're going to be out of new activities to do relatively quickly. I mean, like, there's still stuff in the Taken King, like quests and stuff that I never did complete. But I don't really see that being the case, a year from now or even 6 months from now, for this DLC. But of course, they admitted it wasn't going to be as big as the Taken King, and so I mean, I really wasn't expecting it. But the fact is that we don't want to be able to get to level up quite so fast, because it really takes out one of the things that a lot of people actually like about Destiny, which is some of the grind. So,
okay, all right, Ig.
It's a really complicated question for me, just especially based on the time that we're facing. I think that the plan that they have totally reflect what Destiny 2 is going to be like. If you take the April update, for example, the April update, one of their biggest points they made was try to help people level up light best as they could in order to prepare for the next DLC. And as of right now, like, part of me wants to say I could see rares going to 365, help people that are new to the game not feel discouraged in order to get light level up so they can play with people who are more current in the game. But if light level is something that's completely like reset, there's no need to worry about that. But there's not like investment plan for Bungie to do that wouldn't justify like the amount of people that would actually like I think play off of that. You know what I mean? So, like, the only reason that I think light level would ever be increased, or the soft cap would be removed, would be so that people who are new to the game would be able to catch up after a certain amount of time after the new content. The new content is kind of, they set the stage, you get this gear, and it helps you kind of get ready within reason to this content being released. But after it's out, and a good time after, if there's preparation for the next DLC and a certain level of light is needed, I wouldn't be surprised if the soft cap was removed. But again, I think to me it totally depends on if it's really connected to Destiny 2, in my opinion.
Okay. I could actually see them bumping it up, like Ick said. Maybe having blues at 365, having legendaries at 385, the limit for normal, and then you still having to get the top tier gear from either the raid or trials or whatnot. I can see them increasing it. I don't see them getting rid of it. A lot of people are calling for them to get rid of the soft cap, but I honestly don't see that happening, because just like in Taken King, we had soft caps in that too. They weren't as dramatic as they are now, and I think to John's point, that's setting us up for Destiny 2, because what Destiny 1 has shown us is that people are going to fly through the content if they're given the chance to. And a lot of people were shocked that we couldn't engram farm at the tower like we did in Taken King this time around, and just bump all the way up to 385 and be completely done and not have to go through any of the content. So I think Bungie is learning and adapting and taking this forward, and is going to make it so where all the gameplay is drawn out for as long as possible. That way they can get the most bang for their buck, and and have people playing for longer and longer periods of time in order to get the end game content. And then you're going to have your sparks of light that will instantly get you 40, but you have no gear to accompany yourself with. So I think that might be an avenue that they're exploring for Destiny 2. And also, we do have possibly another April update next year. We do have SRO in a couple of months, which I'm very excited about. And then we'll have Destiny 2 in the fall of next year. So I'm really looking.
I don't know. I still think that Destiny 2 will be before the fall, but
Oh, you do?
just me. Well, I mean, because they talked about that. That seems a little late for the timetable they laid out. I mean, it's always could get delayed, but I think that if it comes out in the fall, it's because of a delay, not because of that's what they originally planned. Because if you the communication that we've had before was
Summertime,
early 2017, not late 2017.
Right, spring to summer possibly. I honestly think it's going to take until fall, somewhere around September timeframe. Only because I would see them having SRL and then having an update and then maybe having a small maybe content update where at the very end all of the raids are now at max light. And you can go do all the new raid or all the old raids at max light along with the new raid, and then there'd be achievements or special gear for that, and then they can go into Destiny 2 that way. Send you out with a bang.
Be awesome.
That would be a lot of fun. Doing Crota again or doing Bog at max light would be a lot of fun.
I keep going on a rant, but I think it'd be so fun to just have like a vaulted glass ghost shell, complete the raid once or twice or a couple of times, and then you get that. It's not game breaking, light level maybe, but something you can just show off, a note to the raid. A lot of people would go right back into it for a ghost shell. I would.
Oh, I would too. I think that would be awesome. Just like a painful glass shell. Like you can completely see through it and whatnot. I think that'd be epic. Or a Gorgon
one or something, yeah.
Yeah, or a Gorgon one. I'd love it, dude.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't put a whole lot of money on any significant update. Not even April update size from last year before Destiny 2. Mainly because even talking to Luke Smith personally, when I saw him down at Destiny Community Con, most of the Bungie staff have moved on to Destiny 2. So there really isn't very many people actually working on content for Destiny, for the original Destiny. So so and I think and the reason why they've almost all and in fact they've actually hired on another studio to help out with Destiny 2. And what that tells me is that they're really pushing for a release that's going to be earlier than September, because I think that they don't have enough content planned, and I think it's maybe a little bit late in the game to kind of change that strategy for them. So,
yeah, I can see them trying to offload some of that workload because it takes a long time to make a AAA game the length of Destiny. Even what we got in Destiny Vanilla, even though it was a broken game and it was a segmented game, it still takes a lot of man hours to make something quite like that. That hasn't been done before on a console. So, big props to Bungie. I know the guys up there. And yeah, awesome game. So, we're going to shy away from Bungie for a little bit. And let's talk about games that you guys like to play offline and off stream. Now, there's, mobile games, there's console games or PC games that you guys might like to play, but not on stream. You might be a one game streamer like Angry Iceberg. Mostly is. Sometimes he'll play like some NHL or whatnot. So what games intrigue you off stream? Let's go and start with Ignite.
Oh boy. This is coming into the dark side. These are some of like the guilty pleasure games that I fall victim to that nobody else wants to talk about. But I'll take a step up. For the past 3 years, I've been almost on a daily basis fitting in some Candy Crush there. So that's still happening. Okay. And if that's not bad enough, I dabble in RuneScape occasionally still.
Hey, that ain't bad.
Need I go on? A lot of people are like, you still play that game? I do. 99 Slayer. Anyways. I also like to play a little bit of strategy-based games. Civilization games tend to be really, really fun. Mm-hmm. Again, whenever I bring that up, people are like, so you're just going to spend a year playing one round or, one game? It's okay. We push through. Other than that, though, I used to play a lot of Call of Duty and whatnot. But yeah, those are the games that I tend to dip my feet in. But yeah.
All right. Angry Iceberg.
Honestly, man, I don't play a whole lot off stream, but I guess the recent ones that I have played off stream, aside from Destiny, which I have played off stream actually, is You know, like I've played No Man's Sky a little bit off stream. Not for a while. I think one of the other games I really want to get back to is well, actually more of a series, but the Telltale series of games. I'm currently, I think, on episode 3 of the Game of Thrones Telltale games. So that's one of them that I would play offline. I mean, and I don't even watch people. You know, when people play those games online, I just tune out and be like, look, I'm going to be playing these by myself. You know, for myself, I don't want to go through your experience. I want to have my own. So I play those offline for pretty much the same reason. I want people to be able to go through that experience on their, you know, for themselves. So other than that, yeah, NHL is certainly one of them. I haven't played that on stream for a while. I like to kind of play that off stream as well. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I do actually play Destiny off stream because there's certain things I like to do off stream that I feel like everybody's just going to be bored watching anyway. So
yeah, like the patrols and
yeah,
you know,
some of the bounty stuff that I want to get done. Yeah.
Yeah. Outbreak Prime.
Well,
oh
Outbreak
god,
Prime
I
I'll
still
do on
have to do
stream,
that.
But more like, you know, like when I'm cleaning out my vault, I don't want to have to put people through that because I want to be able to focus on just getting that done, you know, and deleting weapons that need to get deleted and do that sort of thing. So, I mean, that's kind of, you know, that's kind of the stuff I do. Or yeah, like soon some bounties or, you know, like right now, like Archon's Forge or stuff like that. Stuff that, you know, where I want to focus a little bit more on, just kind of relax and just turn my brain off a little bit and not have to worry about, you know, the people that are there to interact with myself or being a community, you know, I don't know, not really moderator, but a community enabler, or I don't know if that's even the right word. I'm blanking on the word I want to say, but anyway, the point is, yeah, you know, that'd be pretty much it. And I want to get back to playing some of those Telltale games though. But I have such a backlog of games that I need to play just because I simply don't have the time.
Yeah. I definitely have a bunch of guilty pleasure games. One of mine is recent, the Kerbal Space Program. If you guys haven't seen that or haven't played it,
Kerbal?
It's basically you get to build your own spaceships and just see how far they'll go into space. And you have these little Kerbal dudes that will explode if the spaceship explodes.
Cool.
It's kind of cool. It's almost like an indie game, but it's a simulation as well. So you really have to pay attention to what you're doing. I do play League of Legends from time to time. I am no pro at it, but I do play recreationally from time to time. Same with CSGO, even though those are not my 2 games of choice whenever I play games. Dead by Daylight is another one that I just usually play with friends. Civ 5, like Ig does. I play Civ 5 a lot. Euro Truck Simulator, if I'm listening to podcasts or something like that, I'll put that on and play. Easy to listen to. I still play Minecraft from time to time.
Nice.
Just to zone out as well. But yeah, there's definitely different games. Final Fantasy X, Dark Cloud 2, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. There's a bunch of games that I do play off stream. Now on stream, I'm a Borderlands 2 guy. I play Borderlands 2 every single day, and I absolutely love it. So, but there are maybe even World of Warcraft from time to time. I still have my account open. And No Man's Sky I haven't picked up in a while, but I'll probably be playing that after the podcast tonight. But there's a bunch of games that I do love to play off stream, and my stream knows that. And every once in a while, they'll jump into a game with me, and we'll play some CS:GO or something, and just have some fun with it. And that actually brings us to our last topic of the evening. What do you guys like to do outside of gaming? Now, we talked about gaming outside of stream, but what do you do outside of gaming? What do you like to do? Do you like camping? Do you like fishing? Do you like going to watch football games? Do you like going to the bar and drinking yourself under a table? What do you guys like to do? We'll go and start with Angry Iceberg.
About the only thing I ever do outside of streaming is work. My main job. But I mean, other than that, I mean, like I play darts on Thursdays. And that is honestly really all I do, man. I would rather not do stuff outside of streaming. I would rather be here all the time, you know, hanging out with my community, playing games and interacting, than really anything. You know, that's one of the reasons I want to, you know, make this my full-time job so that I can do that. But that's about the only thing that I do outside of the house is I work and I play darts, and I only do that. I used to be really big into playing darts, but now streaming is taken that over by quite a long shot.
Okay. All right, Ig, what you got?
So I used to play a lot of sports. I'm not really in a place where I can find a group of people who played basketball or volleyball. I used to be a big basketball volleyball player, but that's something that I definitely try to do pick up, especially with friends that live near me, which is always a fun time. Normally I'm hanging out with my girlfriend. I've been dating my girlfriend for over 6 years now, so
Nice.
especially being fresh out of college, it's just trying to find as much time as we can together whenever I'm not streaming. But thankfully, she's been as supportive as she is with the hours that I've been putting in recently. Other than that, though, I'm normally on Netflix. One thing that I really do enjoy is trying to explore different kinds of cinematography, different kinds of like movie styles, not just mainstream Hollywood stuff. I think I took one course when it comes to movies in college, and ever since then, I've been so interested in how stories are told and how we interpret things and how the camera's used and stuff like that. And that's always just been something, as of like the past couple of years, it's been something that I've really been wanting to learn more about. So, the shows like Game of Thrones or I just finished season 11 of Supernatural on Netflix. So that literally was released like 2 days ago. We're not going to talk too much about that though, but yeah. So
He's a white lighter.
Exactly.
Well, outside of gaming, I like to watch Netflix just like any other red-blooded American. Love to watch movies and whatnot. Love to watch TV when I can. A new show that I'm really interested in that I'd love to see Angry Iceberg on would be Forged in Fire. It's a show about blacksmiths and whatnot, and he has the beard of a blacksmith. I think that would go over very well. I watch a lot of History Channel, like American Pickers, Pawn Stars, Fortune Fire, things like that. One show that's out of season right now, but I really like to watch is Alone, where they throw like 12 people, 12 survivors on an island, and they have to basically live and survive on the island through the elements and whatnot. Love that show. But yeah, there's a bunch of different shows and TV that I watch. I don't really get out of the house too much, but when I do, I love to go to flea markets. I love to go to yard sales and stuff like that because you never know what you're gonna find. Also love going to a retro arcade. Actually, just this last Sunday, I took my girlfriend for her birthday to a retro arcade. I know it's technically not outside of gaming, but I'm using it anyway. We had a lot of fun there. So we got to play Pac-Man and Galaga and pinball and more pinball. It was absolutely amazing. And yeah, I love spending time with her. That's usually what I'm doing. If I'm not live in front of the camera, I'm either spending time with her, I'm either doing schoolwork because I'm getting my bachelor's degree in game art and design.
Awesome.
Or I'm actually writing a short story. It's going to be about 100 pages long. Don't have a title for it yet, but I am in the process of writing that. I'm up to page like 62 right now, so it's going along very well. And yeah, I just kind of like to occupy my time. Besides that, cooking dinner or cooking breakfast, spending time with my cats or my girlfriend, that's usually what I'm doing. If I'm not doing all those things, I'm dead to the world looking at the back of my eyelids. So that's usually what I'm up to. That's the last topic for tonight, but I do want to ask one more Destiny topic for this evening. How hard do you guys think hard mode raid is going to be? Let's go ahead and start with Ig.
I think a lot of people are going to get upset with me, but I'm pretty optimistic. I'm hoping that there's some stuff that we really don't expect. I'm praying that we don't just see a bunch of bullet sponges. I'm hoping some sort of new mechanics are added. The whole reviving thing. The thing is like when it comes to normal mode, the security of it being able to revive teammates is something that I think we take for granted. Mm-hmm. But so that in and of itself always tends to make it harder. But I would love to see something just kind of like hit us out at left field, So see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's a challenge, and hopefully it takes a little bit more than 2 or 3 hours to beat first time around.
All right, Angry?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, what we kind of learned from King's Fall anyway is that they didn't really do a whole lot mechanically. I mean, they're really the only thing that they did that was different aside from, you know, not being able to revive your teammates, which they did in every raid so far. The only thing they really did mechanically different was, you know, add some yellow bar enemies, and then they added the Blight Eaters. So I don't know, man. I think that we're gonna see some additional stuff with maybe, you know, with the like the first encounter. I mean, not the first encounter of the game, but like with the monitors, I think you're gonna probably have to either like blow up an extra monitor or two, or there'll be monitors in different places, because you notice there's monitors kind of on the back wall-ish area. Not all of them are all at the front there, so you might have to deal with that. As far as that encounter goes, I think that, you know, for the final boss, I think we might have to deal with, you know, throwing more balls at things on the wall. You know, there'll probably be more ball handling.
I've got 2 ready to go.
Yeah. So I have more ball handling. I think that, you know, the final boss fight will, I think that extra plate that you see that, you know, that you can jump on. Well, the one that the supercharger run, I think that's going to come into play in some form. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see anything being drastically different. What I'm interested in seeing is what they come up with for the challenges, because, you know, originally when they changed, or they brought challenges to King's Fall, it was they didn't change in the mechanics in any way during the raid, and I don't expect them to do it for this raid either. So I think it'll be some along the effect of, you know, maybe empowered are the only ones that can pick up the cannons or throw the balls, or you know, whatever. Maybe that will be a big mechanic, you know, as some people kind of thought it was in the beginning. Or, you know, again, you can't take a cannon to, oh wait, what was the one I thought of? That you can't pick up the same cannon twice. I think that was what it was, like the same, like a scorch cannon twice, or the, you
that
know,
would hurt.
Yeah, so basically it would force each person to make sure they, you know, pick up one of the, you know, each one of the cannons at least once. In fact, so I think that would be, you know, certainly a possibility for that. So
yeah, that definitely hurt. Another one would be only one glowing platform is active at one time, so you can't just go to like a clockwork motion in the black platform. That way it makes like the people on the right side hurry to the left. It makes people hurry from the left to the right, and vice versa and whatnot, especially if it's more of a time crunch whenever you're doing so. Yeah, they can reduce the timer.
Yeah, there could be less platforms, you never know.
Yeah, it could be less platforms too. They could shorten that up and make you do more dips on them.
Yeah.
I was thinking about possibly for the Death Zamboni making all the reds yellows.
Yeah, you'll probably see a lot of yellows there. I don't know if there's a whole
want to watch
lot
the
more
world
they can
burn.
do
I
there.
see.
Yes. Yeah. That would absolutely be horrible if every red was yellow. I mean, you just see all those ass wafers go in there. Yeah. It'd be absolute manic. But yeah, it's just all speculation, of course. I know they're going to be adding several different challenges to the raid. I'm absolutely going to bash my head against the wall until I figure out exactly how the challenges are done and see if I can be the first one to do so. I know I won't be, but we're going to try.
Well, that's the challenge to start off, is finding out what the challenge is. You know, that's the perfect challenge.
That's exactly right. Yeah, because we don't know what the challenges are yet. So we have to first find out exactly what the challenges are. Then we have to figure out how the heck we're going to beat it. I just cringe at the fact that Death Zamboni is going to be one of those challenges. I really do. Because, you know, on hard mode, that's going to be excruciating difficult, especially with the skiff turrets that come down and the skiff mines that they like to drop down. That's definitely going to be a pain point.
That's one of those things where I'm just not sure. Like, when you think of the challenge modes for Oryx, the Taken King, all challenge modes are kind of like boss fight, you know, and the Zamboni kind of seems like more of a transition area. Like for the Orcs one, it's like when you're trying to open the door and you're running back and forth, you know, like there wasn't really a challenge mode to that. So I'm wondering if there will only be 3 challenges, and maybe we'll be lucky on the siege. But you know, at the end of the day, you kind of need to keep an open mind and be ready for anything.
Well, I could see the siege challenge again being more like kind of like you can't again, like kind of what I mentioned before, the you know, where maybe you can't pick up the
same thing twice.
Same thing twice, yeah. Maybe, you know, that could be possibly, or you know, it could be a point where maybe you can't allow the mines to go off, you know, because that would be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you'd have to have a maze pattern going through there if you don't set off any mines, because I don't even know if that's honestly possible.
Well, I mean, you would. I mean, like you could like destroy the mines, but you couldn't. You know, you couldn't actually allow them to create the web.
You know, what were you gonna say? I was gonna ask. Do you know if like if you wipe during the siege engine, if there's like a mines destroyed column, or like, you know what I mean?
I don't recall. I don't think so.
I don't recall it.
Yeah, I think another thing that could be in like the last, I mean, not necessarily with the challenge, but just with hard mode, is that you might see more ads, you know, instead of just, or like even ads during the damage phase of, you know, of Axis, you know, like where you're seeing ads spawn in, where right now you're not, or like having vandals or, you know, dregs coming out during you know, during the last phase, where right now you're just getting, you know, the whatchamacallits, you're
just getting dregs and vandals.
Well, you're just getting the shanks during the
in the final part,
in the final
area. I could also see possibly them having knights that steal the bomb throws. So where if you don't destroy the knight, yeah, basically, Matumbo's just swatting them off the rim.
Either that or the servers just go flying to the freaking.
That'd be horrible.
Basically, it'd be like the White Knight concept from Kingsfall, where if you wait too long, they'll actually eat the bomb. They might like detonate themselves and die, but they can actually take away a bomb throw from you, and that would extend the time that you're doing the boss fight. I could definitely see something like that. Maybe even with a shielded knight. Like they do have some spawns that are shielded knights in there, but increasing the number and then having those eat the bombs, I could definitely see that happening. Like Angry Iceberg said, I think it's actually a really smart idea. In fact, I think they might be doing it. Is not touching the same part of the Death Zamboni twice, because you can rotate it so where you don't touch the same part more than once. I actually do really like that idea. And then for the end, you know, either rotating platforms or not touching same scorched cannon twice, or adding an extra enemy to take care of those bombs, maybe at the same time. Maybe it's a double challenge where you can't touch the same scorched cannon and you have knights that eat the bombs as well. So that could definitely force an issue and force you to really be on your toes when you go into hard mode. But yeah, that's the end of the topics, and that's the towards the end of the podcast. We're going to go around the room right now and introduce ourselves. We're going to go ahead and start with Angry Iceberg, since this is his channel. And where can we find you? When can we find you there? What can we find you doing there? Go ahead and go.
All right, guys, if you are watching this live, obviously you're watching on my channel. Don't be afraid to hit that follow button if you are new to the stream. I stream Destiny 7 days a week on the Xbox and the PS4. I am a partnered streamer, so hey, you know, if you just so happen to have any of that, you know, Amazon Prime, you can get a free sub. Anyway, so yeah, but again, you can find me here playing Destiny 7 days a week. I like to do a lot of raid helps. We're getting back to our old standard style of raid help, where we do raffles. I feel comfortable enough, and then we're actually forming or getting new helpers, because not all my old helpers are, you know, still helping out, or they aren't able to. So make sure you stop by, and if you want to be a helper as well. But other than that, you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/angry_iceberg. You can subscribe to me on YouTube. If you're watching live, you can come over and find me at youtube.com/angryicebergtv. If you're watching this on YouTube, then you can come find me at twitch.tv/angry_iceberg. And then you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram and all the things. Just check out the info panels below the stream, or you can check out the description on the YouTube video, which will be going up tomorrow for those of you guys watching live. Other than that, thanks for coming by for episode 40. Nice round number. And yeah, I'll let somebody else talk now.
All right, Ignite.
All right, hello everyone. My name is John, aka Ignite. Again, you can find me streaming Destiny 99% of the time on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ignite_plays. Right directly under me, so if you don't know how to spell it, it's right there. You can also find me on Twitter at twitter.com/_ignite, which is just, pretty sure I'm cutting off my hands right this part of the Ignite_plays that you see right below me. We're going to try to see if that's accurate. If not, it's fine. Yeah, those are the two main places you'll be able to find me, giving my thoughts and playing some Destiny.
There you go. And I'm waiting for it. You got it right. You got the hand placement right.
There we go.
And my name is Kadex Gaming. You will actually find me in the Borderlands 2 directory doing One Life to Live challenges. I'm currently doing them a little bit differently right now. I am raising money for Twitch Helps Twitch. We actually gave out a $100 donation today, which was absolutely phenomenal. If you guys don't know what Twitch Helps Twitch is, it's basically me gathering funds, and I basically distribute them back into smaller streams to help them out, either get games or hardware that they might need, or just help them out in life in general. We got a $100 donation. We went ahead and distributed that today. But now I have to play Borderlands 2, where the chat gets to select the character, the chat gets to select my skill tree, and I have to play on keyboard and mouse instead of my controller. So this is really sucking for me. But you can find me there at twitch.tv/KXGaming, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. Except for Monday, you can find me 8 p.m. Eastern Time on stackup.org. I'm charity streaming for them as well. It's a military organization that sent me out to PAX and gave me a VIP studio tour of Bungie. So I can't complain about that. I am going to be streaming for them for a long time. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. A special thank you to Ignite Plays for coming into the podcast this evening. And for the entire cast of the Loading Screen podcast, this is Kadex Gaming, always here to urge you. Keep calm. Game on. Dance it out. Dance it out.